And they're off in the first race of the night, the women's 200 meter. Here at ACA Mount Smart, at ACA Race Night. ACA Night Race. The women's 200 meter race is the first race of the night here. The leaders have just gone through the 200 meter mark. This race consists of a field containing I will talk you through the start lists. It is a quality field as well. We've got our second cameraman, Cameron Maunder, now on the race. This might be the B women's 800 meter. The field consists of Myla Fong, Greta Hunter, Paige Dobson, Holly Fawcett, Lisa Hallier, Sarah Hallier, Hannah McCanns, Browen Reese Jones, Jenny Gata, and Eva Hodgton. You can see they're coming up at the 500 meter mark, just 550 meters to go of this race. You have got the Hallier sisters in first and second with the blue and pink respectively. They're coming up with just 200 meters to go. They are closing quickly. And they have just got 150 meters to go. They are coming up now with not far to go on the left in the race. Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening there with the second camera, but they are coming up and they are just at the finish line. It looks like it'll be a very fast race by the two Hallier sisters. We'll try and get you the time when the results are available. You can see our two paces from the men's 1 hour record attempt. I'll get you the results when they come available for you, ladies and gentlemen. But that was the first heat of the women's 800 meter, the A heat. The results are still not loaded, but we will get to them as soon as they appear. We've got a second camera that'll hopefully appear sometime to get the other side. And we're back.
You spend the whole day, centered around that race. For these late races, I tend to put it as two separate days. So my morning and then my later afternoon. So that's when you're starting your fueling.
Here you can see the finish line. The next race to that was the first race. That race was won by Sarah Hallier in 2:08, Lisa Hallier 2:09.07, Holly Fawcett in third. So you can see the next race will be lining up. They'll be lining up quickly. What a wonderful racing and what a wonderful conditions we've got here tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen. We are one race down at the 800 meters. You can now see the second race. The athletes are now lining up for heat number 2 of the women's 800 meter. They are on their marks. The watches are ready. The gun is about to go. The athletes cannot wait for the race to begin. The watches are paused. They're on their marks. The set position. And the gun is off and we've got the clock started. We'll be coming round to the right out of the blocks. The clock reads 9 seconds, 10 seconds. And they're back and we're going to cut to the second camera now. And you can see the athletes at the back straight now coming around. They're coming through the clock. This race has got a quality field consisting of lane 1 with Laura Bellatieri, lane 2 Olivia McLean, lane 5 Charlie Fong, lane 6 Charlotte Ascroft, lane 7 Maggie Croft. And they've just cut round it. They have just gone through the 200 meter mark and they are at flying pace for the second heat of the women's 800 metres. We're going to cut back to our main camera as soon as the athletes start to enter the finish line. You can see the athletes coming up to the clock. They're coming up. My clock is about 4 seconds off, so they'll be around 66, 67, 68, 69, if my clock is correct, seconds. The athletes are on a cracker here today. There is no slowing them down. You can see the leader streaming away, just absolutely striding into the field. That looks to be one of the local athletes in the white singlet just ahead. We're going to take it to the close camera. You can now see the athletes coming up. If this progresses, you can see them coming through with just 200 metres to go for our leaders. The runners there, they will be starting the home pitch. The athletes are just coming around the bend with 150 metres to go for our leader from Pakuranga. Our Pakuranga leader is now entering the home straight, where we will flick to our camera from the end. You can see the leader coming around. Not very long to go on the race. Coming up to the line, just a tick under where they need to be. And there is, looks a clock just over 2:20. Wonderful running there by the Pakuranga and the two Auckland City Athletic runners. So we can see this next race is the most anticipated race of the second half of the program. We have Samuel Ruthe attempting an all-out 800 metre. I will talk you through this field. This is one that could be special. In lane 1, we have Max Wilkin with a 2:02 personal best. Lane 2 is George Varney, 1:57 guy. Lane 3 is Quinn Moss. Lane 4 is Connell McClay, a 1:51 guy. Lane 5 is Samuel Ruthe. Lane 6 is Costa Mills. Lane 7 is Robert Fitzpatrick. Lane 8 is Thomas Evett. And lane 9 is Connor Kelly. What a quality field here. All eyes will be on the young Sam Ruthe out of Tauranga, coached by Craig Kirkwood. I have heard that he is going for an all-out max effort attempt tonight in this 800 metre. So all eyes will be on the young Ruthe. It'll be interesting to see what he can do tonight in this race. We've got our camera in the back straight, and they are on their marks. And that's the gun off, and we are racing. We have Sam Ruthe fresh out of the blocks, away quick, but Connell McLean and Costa Mills will not give it all Sam Ruthe's way. This will not be the young 16-year-old's day. He may have run a 3:58 mile, maybe the youngest ever sub-4 miler in the world, but Sam Ruthe could not hold off the quality field, and we are now in the back straight. They're approaching the 200 metre mark, a click over 36 seconds, 37.22 in my blocks. Sam Ruthe is the pacer. He is also the racer. Sam Ruthe is leading, and he has got to train with Costa Mills and train behind him. We're coming back to the men's, so opening up the straight. It is still Sam Ruthe leading with Costa Mills in second and Connell McClay in third. We've unfortunately somehow flipped the camera, but we are hoping to transfer that back. It is still Sam Ruthe clocking through the 400 metre split in 53 seconds. What a run by the young runner here. We hope that the camera flips back shortly, but we'll get you back on the back straight. It is still Sam Ruthe pulling away now from Costa Mills, the national silver medalist in the men's 800. Sam Ruthe is pulling away. We are looking now at the back straight, the 200 metre line. Sam Ruthe is now in the lead still. He is absolutely on a tear. Let's see what the young Sam Ruthe of 150.57 from Cook's Classic from Capital Classic earlier this year, where he lost to just Daniel Williams. He goes through the 200 metre mark in what appears to be 2:30, but my clock is wrong. We're going to get you back to the main camera. Here we are. We're going to see what we can happen here to change this orientation. My apologies for everything that is happening here. We're going to get your clock, going to get you back straight. We're back where you want to be. Sam Ruthe is where he is. And what a wonderful run. That might be a PB for the young Sam Ruthe. I am not sure what's happened. And it is new. 1:49.59 for the young Sam Ruthe. What a wonderful run. I will just try flip my camera around. I'm not sure what happened there. We should be back. Hopefully we are back with the orientation we want. Yes, we are back with what we want. So Sam Ruthe, fresh off running a new lifetime best in the men's 800 metre. Sorry for the diagonal video. I am not completely sure at all what happened there. We've also lost a camera, but we were going to go down.
You spend the whole day, centered around that race.
We've got Cameron Warner on the back straight.
For these late races, I tend to put it as two separate days. So my morning and then my later afternoon.
It has officially dropped off. We will try to get back. So it was Robert Fitzpatrick, a new lifetime best in the men's 800 metre, running 1:53.09. We've got the back straight camera, not sure exactly what is happening there. But the race of the day was Sam Ruthe, 1:49.59 for the young runner. We've dropped off a camera from the lead. But we've got the second camera now, so hopefully that picks up a bit of something. We're going to get our second camera now to go to the finish line because our main camera is calling it a day. You can see athletes lining up for the next race. I'll talk you through the full results of that field. In first was Sam Ruthe, 1:49.59. In second was Robert Fitzpatrick in 1:53.09. And third was Conor McLean in 1:53.91. And third was Costa Eric Mills in 1:53. Fourth was George Varney. Sixth was Quinn Moss in 1:54. Seventh was Connor Kelly in 1:55. And we've got some athletes doing what I think. I'm not actually sure what this race is, but I'll turn a clock on. I thought we had a men's 200 meter race. This must be it. So my apologies. So these men's are 250 meters into this race. Our next highlight race will be the men's 1500 meter at 8:50, which Sam Ruthe is also running. So our second heat of the men's 800 meter has just gone through. That race at 8:50 is still be a cracker as well. Which we are very excited for. You can see they're now coming up with just 550 meters to go. And they're coming up with just 100 meters to go in this B race of the men's 800. We've got some in the range of 159 to 209. So these athletes are absolutely cranking for their ability. Our second cameraman, John T. Tribe, has called it an evening. He was wonderful on the camera. We are now handing over to Cameron Maunder, our eyes and ears at the track from this time out. He is going to get you every action that you need. He is going to get you the start of every race. Just organising with him now. We are now making our way over to the very start for this next race of the night, which is the women's 200 meter heat A. I'll talk you through the start list. In lane 1 is Juliet Goldsmith. Lane 2, Esmond Reed. Lane 3, Eden Molly. Lane 3, Brianna Stevenson. Lane 4, Sienna Mole. And lane 7, Emily Cohen. And the athletes are preparing, doing their final stride outs now. I'll take you through the start list again. This field has the highlight of the field is Brianna Stevenson, the New Zealand heptathlon champion, who has a personal best of 23.83 seconds. You can still see there a few of the 1 hour record attempt paces running around, getting in their daily mileage. I as well have still got the last 50 minutes of my run from today, which will probably be completed at 9:30 p.m. But all for coverage. So again, the next highlight race is at 8:50 in the men's 1500, which Sam Ruthe is racing again. You can see the athletes in lane 3 preparing their blocks, making sure everything is perfect, everything is ideal. We're just going to see if we can get you some on-field audio. You can see Sam Ruthe there running around with Toby Gala, two absolute icons of today's action. So everyone, don't go away. At 8:50 p.m. we have got the men's 1500. So the way this setup is working, we have got cameramen in Auckland using a system called VDS Ninja, which if anyone at the track, if they want, they can come along and help be a cameraman. So they're using that, sending it to me, who is in Wanganui, and then I am broadcasting from here and doing all the graphics and results. But hey, it's free, so I'm not complaining. And I can have as many people as I want, but my CPU is currently at 27% and it was at 33%. So I cannot do anything too extreme because my computer will crash. You can now see the starter getting ready. The starter is getting prepared. The blocks are set. The race is ready to be run. There we are at the ACA Night Race number 2 with quality athletes on the line. While we're waiting for the start, let's look at what the social media action is in regard to this 1 hour record attempt. We just got a small dropout, but we are back. Let's talk about that 800 meter. Sam Ruthe, who we can see in your shot now, ran 1:49.49 with Toby Gala, who ran 19,970 meters, a pace of just over 3 flat per kilometer. So here we are in the first of the 200 meters of the night. The women's 200 meter heat A. We might be running a little bit behind schedule here, but hopefully not. We are running about 5 minutes behind schedule, so 8:45 now is the race time, where Sam Ruthe will. My assumption is he'll be pacing. I will pull up messages from Sam Ruthe before to see exactly what he's doing. He's going max in the 800, so my assumption is he is pacing the 1500, and in the 3000 meter, George Wiley is attempting to break 8:10, which would, in my guess, be a new New Zealand record for his age, but I will verify that claim. So you can see the athletes are going up to their blocks in this heat A of the women's 200 meter. I'm just checking some stats on George Wiley on his age to see what records he is eligible for here. So the athletes are on their marks. The athletes all about to be called to the set position. The highlighters on Brianna Stevenson, lane 4, and the athletes are off. Brianna Stevenson, the New Zealand heptathlon champion, the 23.8 runner. She is out of the blocks. She is the quality of this field. You can see the floodlights blocking a bit of the lights, but Brianna Stevenson is by far the highlight. She is darting away there in her lane. She's making the rest of the field look almost amateur. While that race is going on, we are just looking at the stats required to see George Wiley, currently 18 years of age. The New Zealand under-19 record is 7:56 from Sam Ruthe. Okay, these New Zealand records are cooked now from Sam Ruthe. But George Wiley will be hoping for what may be the second or third fastest ever 3,000 metre by an 18-year-old in New Zealand history. If he can achieve it, it will be another reason tonight was historic. So we're now pulling up to the start of Heat 2 of the women's 200 metre race. This is Heat 2. I'll talk you through the start list of this field here. But the quality race we are waiting for is the men's and women's 1500 metre races. The women's A race and the men's A race both look to be absolute quality fields, with the women's race being starred, highlight of the field being Scarlett Robb, Nina Chalmers, Asha Edwards. We've also got Sam Ruth's younger sister, Daisy Ruthe. And then in the men's 1500, I will talk you through the start list, which the race will probably start around 8:55 or even 9 o'clock now. We have got Sam Ruthe, Oscar Munro, Noah Crowhurst. I will talk you through the sub-4 runners in this race. That is it. Sam Ruthe will be the quality of the men's 1500. Then in the women's 3,000 meter, we have Katrina Andrews, Emma Ward, Holly Mannings, Stella Tanner, and Dove Elton. So Katrina Andrews is the quality of that women's 3,000 meter field. And in the men's 3,000 meter field, you have got Ben Ruthe, the father of Sam Ruthe. And the athletes are on the set position in this 200 meter. We'll go back to that. The athletes are preparing, ready for a fast race. The highlight, and they are off. We'll talk you through the start. Let's Greta Hunter in lane 1, Hannah McNass in lane 2, Brown Reese Jones in lane 3, Lisa Hallier, who won, and Sarah Hallier in 4 and 5 respectively, Lauren Bartlett Hamilton, and then lane 7 is Paige Dobson. You can see that lane. There is an absolute stormer there for the win. One of the Hallier sisters has come out of a flyer. The Hallier sisters may go 1-2 in the women's 200B and the women's 800. We'll have to wait to get your times. Going back to times in the first race of that women's 200 meter. It was won by Brianna Irving in 24.26, a new personal best for her, with Brianna Stevenson not far behind in 24.47. Getting ready for the first race of the men's 200 meter. This race is highlighted by Jerome Rogo in lane 3, Joe Berman in lane 4, Charles Howlett in lane 5, and Benji Fairclough in lane 6. They are the quality of this next race, the men's 200 meter heat 1. We have now coming up to the first heat of the men's 200 meter. I'll talk you through the results of that women's B 200 meter. That race was won. That race was taken out by Broeen Reese Jones, my apologies. With the Hallier sisters at DNS, Broeen Reese Jones won that in 27.2. Lauren Barnett Hamilton won that was second in 27.39. And we're now off for the start of the men's 200 meter heat A. And they are off again. And we are racing. And the race is off with the lead. Looks like the inside lanes have taken the lead with a nice quality all packed field. This is a neck and neck. This could go down to the wire, this race. It looks like lane 2 might have it. Lane 2 Timothy Wallace. I'll get you the results as soon as they appear from that first round, heat A of the men's 200 meter. We're just going to try find another camera for later on because this is currently chewing through battery. We're wanting to give you the utmost coverage for the men's 3,000 meter happening later on in the evening. We're just going to do some on-field hunting, some looking around. We are now up for the B race of the men's 200 meter. We're now at the finish line for the next race. This is now coming up. Coming up now for the men's 800 meter race 2. Talking through the start lists. Actually, going back to that first race of men's 200 meter, it was won by Charles Howlett in 22.53. Lane 2, it was second was Cole Yeager in 22.64. Lane 7 was George Kennedy in 22.72. And we have the B race now, the men's 200. Just coming along. Taken out by the Auckland athlete. Outdipping the runner in the grey and the 2 Takapuna runners. So we are now waiting. The next race is the women's 1500 heat A with a stellar field including Scarlett Robb, fresh off running an 8:17 in the women's 3,000 meter in Australia not long ago. I'm just going to try set up a camera for later on when our battery is dying. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen, if I am a bit in and out in the commentary in this area. Just trying to get you the best and get all races streamed for tonight. Gonna see what can be done. I'm just gonna see if I have anyone at the track. I'll be out for a few seconds. You can stay. I haven't got music. You can stay with the pictures. Just gonna see what I can do. So now you can see the athletes are lining up for the women's 1500 Heat A. I will read you through the start lists. Tip number 1, Scarlett Robb. I'm just talking through trying to get a second camera, get a new camera with more battery set up. So hit number 1 is Scarlett Robb. Hit number 2, Nina Chambers. Hit number 3 is Asha Edwards. Hit number 4 is Sophie Haynes. Lane 5 is Daisy Ruthe. Lane 6 is Eleanor Purdue. Lane 7 is Isabel King. Lane 7 is Kate Robertson. Lane 9 is Madison Owen. Lane 10 is Zara Prophet. And lane 11 is Amy Towers. Lane 12 is Paulina Kilmore. And lane 13 is Luana Hayes. What a good field. So the athletes are just preparing, getting my clock ready. Everything is ready for the start of this women's A 1500 meters. On the program tonight, we've also got the men's 1500 meters, which contains Sam Ruthe, the women's 3000 meter, containing a quality field being led by Katrina Andrews, and the men's 3000 meter, with being led by James Corbett and George Stewart Wiley. So here we are, the women's 1500 meters. Lining up on the line, you can see a few athletes preparing for other races, just doing some stride outs. The athletes are getting ready. They're seeing what can be done. Trying to get you some audio on from on the field, but I cannot seem to get it working. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But that is fine because the pitches and my voice is all that matters. So women's 1500 should be starting now at any second. Any second there on the track, this race should begin to commence. We are now just moments away. From the women's 1500, I am excited for this. You should be excited for this. We all are excited for this. Let's see what Scarlett Robb, the athlete with the PBs of 9:17 in the 3000 meter, the Oceania under 18 3000 meter champion from June last year. Quality is written all over this field. It'd be interesting to see if on this stunning night that has already created wonderful performances, the quality can keep on tuning out. Scarlett Robb, just at 17 years of age, has PBs of 4:22 in the 1500, 4:46 in the mile, 9:18 my apologies in the 3000, 16:53 in the 5000. Should be one to watch. Chambers will make sure it is not all Scarlett Robb's way. The athletes look like they are starting to make their way to their marks. And it looks like the athletes are almost on their marks. I will make sure the clock is ready and we're racing. We do not want to miss a beat. They're just being told their marks. The athletes are being told the starter is walking out of the way. Their set position will be any moment now. You can see the athletes getting ready. They don't want to miss a beat. We don't want to miss a beat. I don't want to miss the clock. We're going to make sure that we do not miss anything. The athletes are probably within 10 seconds of starting in this A race of the women's 1500 metre, led by Scarlett Robb and Nina Chambers and Asha Edwards. We've got some rotation there. I'm sorry, I'm not sure completely what that is about. That is the guy, that is the cameraman texting me. We are going to drop, and I've missed a spot, but our cameraman is going to drop. He is on just 5 battery. You've got Scarlett Robb with a pacer out in front of her. Everything after this first 100 metre split, I will make sure to get correct. They're off through 100 metres. My clock is a little bit wrong, but that is not an issue. They are now coming through the 200 metre mark in what I think will be about 33 seconds. They're coming through almost at 400 metres to go. Just a short 1,100 metres to go for these runners. Nothing like what Toby Gala experienced just hours ago when he attempted to run 1 hour. Run 20,190 metres in 1 hour, but came up agonizingly close at 19,970 metres. We might drop off camera any minute here when the phone dies, but we will not let that get in the way of what we have today. I split the athletes at the mark. We're just crossing over the track. We will try get some splits for what these athletes are running. The leading athlete in this race is Scarlett Robb with Nina Chambers. I am not sure who the pacer is, but we hope that they are there or thereabouts. I'm also not sure what the goal is. My assumption would be 4:20 for Scarlett Robb. You can see the two athletes now leading the way. They come through in 72 seconds, the same as Toby Gala. So they're on 4:30 pace from my quick calculations. For this last lap, you've still got the pacer with Scarlett Robb just a hair length behind 1 metre. That looks like to be going to 2 metres now. Scarlett Robb might be looking at maybe Nina Chambers, not a pacer. This may be a race in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Nina Chambers pulling away from Scarlett Robb at the 700 metre mark. We are now at the halfway point just behind the high jump in this women's A 1500 metre, which we may drop off picture very, very shortly when the phone died. It was at 5% just a minute ago, and this is chewing through the battery, but we hope to get a picture back for anything this evening. So we've got Scarlett Robb now pulling up the back of the stream. If the battery does come back, I'm going to pause the stream and I will bring it back as soon as I can find a live camera. The athletes are now at 850 metres into the lead. It looks like Nina Chambers has pulled away what appears to be a 10 to 15 to even 17, 18 metre lead. The chase pack is now gaining on Scarlett Robb in second place. It looks like an absolutely wonderful race for the leader, which I think is Nina. She's coming up to what appears to be just the 1,000 metre mark. She ran the last 800 metres in 2:28. She's running 74 seconds a lap. Remind you, the clock on the screen is wrong. My apologies, she was a pacer. It is Scarlett Robb in the lead now. Scarlett Robb is still the leader of this race. You've got the two Auckland City athletes chasing behind, hoping to use pacing to their greatest effect. Scarlett Robb is now approaching. She's got just 374, 73, 72 metres to go in this women's 1500 here at the ACA Night Race number 2. They are turning and burning. They're not letting anything hold them behind. The athletes, it is still Scarlett Robb out the front, with people close behind. It is now just 200 meters left to go on this race. We will get you live results as soon as they appear because, again, the clock on the screen is wrong. That clock was started 20 meters into the race, so at about 10 seconds to be generous, possibly 5. She's coming up with 110 meters to go. Scarlett Robb has entered the final 100 meters of this race. Let's see what she can pull. The clock will be about 15. She will be braking for the sub 420. She looks like to be just off the 420, around the 425, 426, 427. She breaks the 30 barrier. We'll pull up the live results shortly when they appear. I'm going to go on mute a little bit and try to organize a next video. We've just lost camera. I'm going to get something shortly. Just hold there. We are currently in the process, sorry for losing picture. I am currently in the process of getting a new cameraman. We will be just moments away. Just ensuring, trying to get a hold of whoever I can that is still at the track. So there was that we just finished watching the first race of the women's 1500. I'm currently trying to contact Joshua Gordon to see if we can get more images. So I'll talk you through that race. Was run by Scarlett Robb in first. The results are still Scarlett Robb ran 4:26 there. Sorry for the delay. Just stay with me for a little bit of time, please. We're just trying to contact our next videoer. Or if you know anyone at the track, please get a hold of them. And as soon as you know anyone at the track, I can get a video up. I'm currently in the process of trying to find people's Instagrams, scrolling through, seeing who I have, seeing who I don't have. I've got nothing at the track at the moment. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, I will play you the intro from today's Toby Gala. But this is a warning, I am still trying to get your stream for the rest of this meet. I'm here with Toby Gala, just a few days out before his attempt at the New Zealand 1 hour record had by Bill Bailey. It's a pretty exciting feat to go after a New Zealand record that's set in the 1963s. Are you pretty excited to give it a crack?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in October, when I talked to my coach about it, it was kind of like this thing that had been looming around that, we've got many, titles this year, but we haven't got any records. So when he kind of said, Bill Bailey's records has stood since 1963, I was like, yeah, it could be a good one to give it a go. Obviously, I've been doing lots of half marathons this year, so it kind of makes sense with the training that I'm in. And obviously the biggest drive and motivator around this record is Bill Bailey himself, and that kind of era of New Zealand distance running. I mean, Bill was, he was one of the guys who laid the foundation of New Zealand distance running. He was from that era where like everything was just pure grit and mileage. So it was just pure love for the sport, and that's kind of what I've taken from doing my research and talking with people about him is that he was a guy who kind of like laid the foundation with those guys, McGee, Peter Snell, and Murray Helberg, all legends from back in the day. So how cool would it be to be a part of that history?
So we look at the record in numbers is 20,190 meters. That equates to 20.19 k an hour or 2:58 pace, and also comes down to if ran further, a 62:42 half marathon. Do you think about it in sort of those numbers, or more about the effort you need to run?
I've certainly been more of a numbers guy. I've always thought about like, these are the splits I need to run, and I'm more of a runner who is better at the racing. I'm more of a racer than I am a time trialist. I mean, the record has stood for such a long time. Back then they had watches and stuff. I mean, I didn't even know what they would have done in terms of like timing stuff. They probably just would have had a few watches on it, and a guy, probably Lydiard standing there saying, this is what you're doing every split. But I mean, for me, I see it as, it's not a time trial or a race. It's a test of sustained focus. I mean, it's going to be, how long can I stay mentally focused for that hour, and not panicking. Even if the pace drifted to 59, what do I do then? Do I get it back? I know that from a racing point of view, I normally am pretty good in closing it down, and but for me, it has to be a fast pace early. So we'll be looking at running 2:58 per k, 2:57 to 2:58, but conserving early because it will catch up with you at the end. But yeah, going back to that question, I mean, I'm a numbers guy. When I saw 20,190 meters, yeah, that's how fast I have to run, kilometer an hour wise. But really, I see it as, he did 52, almost 52 and a half laps. So I've trained to run 53 laps. So the goal is to be faster, and there is that looming record also of the area record or the Oceania record, which is done by De Castella from Australia, and he holds the record of 20.5 k in 1 hour. So that's also another huge motivator, but obviously Bill's record, the New Zealand record, is the most important, and we've got to get that first before we look at that later on.
Absolutely. Try to take down the New Zealand one first. Which,
Yeah.
that's a 62-year-old record. That's a long one for the history books.
Yeah, stood since 1963. I mean, it's almost I've read it's a record that's almost been a myth, really. Like it's been forgotten about for 62 odd years. And I love the idea of chasing something that's been untouched for that long. Being a part of a story that was I guess ran by Lydiard and Halberg and all those guys. Like it would be cool to be a part of that history, but I'm in the shape now where it's like I can really give it a good go. I'm in pretty good half marathon shape and I'm fast, so it makes sense. But it's been around for a long time. Kevin Ryan, a New Zealander, back in 1978, he was the closest to Bill's record. Also attempted at Mount Smart Stadium, and he ran 20,080 meters. So he was, and that was 78. So there was only just 100 meters off, 110 meters off. I do not want that to happen to me, and I don't think it will. But yeah, to be that close, so many people have attempted it. But yeah, it's kind of that
I'm here with Toby Gala, just a few days out before his.
He was the closest to Bill's record. Also attempted at Mount Smart Stadium, and he ran 20,080 meters. So he was, and that was 78. So there was only just 100 meters off, 110 meters off. I do not want that to happen to me, and I don't think it will. But yeah, to be that close, so many people have attempted it. But yeah, it's kind of that old record that is often.
In the meantime, I'm going to give you some other clips that I was not able to play during the race.
The gel situation is going to be pretty important. I've taken gels throughout my half marathons this year. Christchurch, I missed it at Melbourne, and that sucked. But yeah, it really helped me at Christchurch, and I took it, and I actually made the mistake, and I forgot it to put it in my pocket in Wellington. Not that mattered too much, being 8 minutes or 5 minutes ahead of the field, but when you're coming into something very, a lot of stuff can happen within that hour. So yeah, I've got a table that's going to be set up there, and then probably on the back straight, and at around 11 to 12k, I'll probably just take a gel. Has 30 grams of carbs and 50 milligrams of caffeine, so there will be no sleep that night. So it's going to be a wired evening. But yeah, I know that this gel works for me because it's helped me through my trainings, my long trainings, my 4x10 minutes, all that type of stuff, and I normally feel good in the last couple of reps. So I know that it will be important to take it. I just don't want to use too much energy taking it. So it will be. I've practiced, missing gels, and I've had it in races before. So if I was to miss it, or or something was to happen in the race and I didn't grab it, I will be. You spend. The gel situation is I'm wearing Brooks Hyperion Elite Long D spikes. So we actually didn't have any in Australia and New Zealand, but I was able to email the Americans, and they got a special order and sent to Australia. And yeah, they sent me a couple pair of the carbon plated Brooks spikes. So I think that I'm probably the only one in New Zealand who has them. There's two pairs, and I wore them on my couple of my sessions this week, and yeah, they're a lot different of a spike. They're a lot softer compared to what I wore before, and that was my Nike Dragonflies before having the Brooks sponsorship, and they're a lot softer. The Dragonflies were a lot firmer, so but I do really like them. They feel really nice on my foot, and go well with how I run. I'm a very big heel striker, but I'm much more on my toes when I'm running.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I am unable to find that can get on, so we may have to call it a there. Thank you very much for watching. We saw a good 800 meter by Sam Ruthe, but we're getting the rest of the races videoed because they So thank you very much to the 13 diehards of you who stayed along for this long. But I'm going to have to call it a night there, and I've still got a 50-minute run to do. So it's going to be a dark one, but I'm going to get in. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching along to the NZ Predict stream, hosted on the Mats TV, which we hope to have all the races streamed on. Actually, I'm just getting typing by my man in the ground. Give me 30 seconds, we might have something. But we're hoping to have the Regional League number 3 meet on this same channel this coming Saturday in Masterton with quality fields. But I have heard results that Sam Ruthe ran a 3:46 in the 1500. If I can get the video, I can play it
I'm
on
wearing
here
Brooks
almost instantly,
Hyperion
but it won't be live.
Elite long D spikes. So we actually didn't have any in Australia and New Zealand, but I was able to email the Americans, and they got a special order and sent to Australia. And yeah, they sent me a couple pair of the carbon plated Brooks spikes. So I think I'm probably the only one in New Zealand who has them. There's two pairs,
So talk you through the
and
results.
I wore
The
them on
men's
my
1500,
couple of
which
my
is
sessions
great,
this
but
week,
we've still got a
and
fast
yeah, they're a lot
800
different
meter.
of a spike. They're a lot softer compared
Men's
to what I
1500
wore before,
meter
and that
results.
was my Nike Dragonflies before having the Brooks sponsorship. And
The men's 1500 meter results. In first was Sam Ruthe 346, Yask Chow 405, Theo Brad 408, William Mulder 408, Oscar Monroe 411. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it a day. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll